Hello, BookTube. I wanted to make a quick reminder video for you of the other place on YouTube where I can be found talking about books, and that is the Books of the Week program for the Cedarburg Public Library's YouTube channel and also their podcast. Their Cedarburg Public Library in Cedarburg, Wisconsin, has a radio station. One of the only libraries left in the country that has a radio station of its own. And my producer, Jeff, and I, every week, talk about books on the Cedarburg Public Library's Books of the Week. We first talk about a new release in nonfiction, then a new release in fiction, and then on a typical episode, the C block is my producer Jeff throwing a bunch of wild cards at me, books that he picks that he doesn't tell me about ahead of time. We have a blast, and I wanted to make this video in order to remind you not only that the show exists, because we've missed a couple of weeks due to various circumstances that forced me to fire Jeff several times, but also because we've moved. We've moved the date on which Jeff puts the episodes up. We film the same time, but we put the episode up on Monday to start your week, to either curse or bless your reading week. So you'll want to be looking for that, but you won't want to be looking for it tomorrow, as you ordinarily would have, as you would have for a year, but instead on Monday, sometime on Monday. And if Jeff doesn't manage to post the video by Monday, well, we can all just fire him. It's always an option. I'm thinking that ought to be a rung on the Patreon. You donate enough money, you get to fire Jeff whenever you're feeling like it. I wanted to remind you of that. It was on my mind because the episode that's going up on Monday is a barn burner. We had been, in a couple of the previous episodes that we did before we took our unpredicted break, we were trying our best to be positive. I was trying my best to be positive with some of the main books that we picked out. Not so on Monday. Not so at all. The nonfiction pick and the fiction pick are torn to shreds. Just torn to bloody shreds. So I think you'll have a blast. I think you'll laugh your head off. So anyway, just wanted to make a mention of that. I'll leave a link to the CPL YouTube channel, because we could always use more subscribers. I never make any calls to action on this channel, except, to send me pictures of your dogs, send me your old tech. But for Cedarburg Public Library, for CPL's Books of the Week, I do make calls to action because the success of the channel means every bit of success that the channel gets makes it less vulnerable to the whimsy of any public institution. It makes it more of a thing that just exists and that is too successful to be mucked around with. And also the views and whatnot and the Patreon that will flash across the bottom of the screen, all of that goes to the Friends of the Public Library there in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. And as you know, if you know anything about your own library, the Friends group, an auxiliary group designed to help the library with all sorts of things, it's absolutely essential to a library's operation, and B, it doesn't have independent funding from the library. They have to come up with their own funding to do all the wonderful things that they do. They have to come up with their own funding. That's where the money at the Patreon goes to. It doesn't go to My Lavish Lifestyle or Jeff's. But anyway, I'll leave a link to the YouTube channel down below. Also, you can find it anywhere that you podcast. And it'll be up on Monday. Just wanted to let you know, remind you of that. So I'll wrap this up for now, and I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.